Alright, so here we are. We're about to do the ceiling fan for the living room, and then we're going to copy it over here to the bedroom. Should be pretty simple. I'm going to hide this CAD file and make sure we're on our living room layer. Okay. Now the ceiling fan that we're going to do, I found at lumens.com, and I'll supply this link when we're ready. But you see, it's pretty basic. The diagram down here is for it. It's only 11.5 inches from the ceiling to the light, which is a 7-foot minimum to the center of the fan blade, so you won't run into it with your head and get your head chopped off. So what we're going to do now is go back to Max and build the thing. We're going to start from a cylinder. We're just going to put it right here in the middle. It's not going to be too big. We're going to go negative in height, and I'll show you why. We go right here. If we go negative, it puts the pivot at the bottom, and then what here we can do is in the Z hit 8 foot, and it will take it up to the top of the ceiling. So if I unhide the walls here, you'll see this at the top, exactly where we want it to be. Alright, I'm going to take the radius down a little bit because we don't want it too big. Alright, and I'm going to leave it at 8 sides. I'm going to right click it and convert it to an editable poly. And I'm going to scale in the top like so. Zoom in on that. Oops. Going to zoom in on it here. Look at that. And the part we're modeling is this right here. I'm actually going to raise this up just a little bit. Something like that. Okay, hit F3 so I can see it. We'll make it gray, and alright. I'm going to delete this top part. We don't need that. Never see it. I'm actually going to take this part and inset it a little bit. About right 0.25. And then I'm going to ring select this. I'm going to do a connect and slide it down about right there. And then after that's done, I'm going to hit Turbo Smooth and rename this ceiling fan body. Hit F3 or F4 and we have that. Alright, to go back into here, what we can do if we want to is to just connect these so we can get all 4 sides. So I'm going to take it to there, and do like that. And now we have that. Hit Control A while I'm on my vertices, and I can just hit weld. I should be able to hit weld to see. Make sure everything's together. Alright. I'll hit Turbo Smooth, there should be no problem. And there isn't. And I'll do that sometimes to make sure that my connect is working correctly. Alright, so with this, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take these polygons right here, hit Grow, and then shift-click the Z-axis, clone it to an object, and call it Ceiling Fan Spinner. Alright, I'm going to take that and click on the polygons. It should have them selected. Then I'm going to go into my left view and hit Bevel. I'm going to decrease it some, and the outline I want it to follow the contour of the body. So something like that. Take down the height some. Leave it like that, and that should work. We're going to do a ring select on this and connect it with just one. About right 86 or something like that. Add a Turbo Smooth. Take a look at it from right here, F4, and yeah, we're getting there. We'll look at my drawing one more time. This is a little flat piece that goes down right here, a little squashed piece, and I can actually probably use this little spinner thing right here. So I'm going to go back into this view, and let's see, let's just center the pivot on it. and shift drag a copy down, and we'll call this little thing for my vertices. And what I want to do is just shrink those in this way, and then bring them up like that because it's relatively small. And I want to take these vertices that are on the bottom here, because you see it's kind of straightened out right there. I kind of want to go with that contour. Click off it and make sure that it looks decent enough. And it does. The only problem is I need to scale this back up because I want it to be on the outside there. Alright, what I'm going to do is give it 2 just for now to see what it looks like. Alright, go back to edges here, and actually I'm just going to leave that alone. Now what I'm going to do is take this and shift drag down a copy and call it the light, like so, into my vertex mode, and bring it down here. Because if you notice, this is actually inset to where that comes out, so I need to scale it about to right there. And I'm going to take this, bring it up, and scale that pretty straight like so, and make sure that I've got the same here, like that. Let me look at it, and that looks about like that. I'm actually going to take this little thing right here and shift drag up a copy to the top here. Click OK. We'll call it ceiling fan top. Alright, so now that's like that. Looking good. Should be about right. Might have to scale it a little bit. See how it is in the room. I'm actually going to select the whole thing and scale it up just a tad. Looks a little small for me. Okay. Unhide the walls. And exactly what I thought. Take that, select the walls because we don't need those. I'm going to bring it back down like that. Okay, so back on the living room layer. I'm going to come into here. We have the light, but it has a little curvature to it. So I'm going to take this, and what I'm going to do, zoom in on that. I'm just going to take these polygons, hit grow, and then I'm going to, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to select these instead and just bring it down like so. And then I'm going to take this vertice and bring that down. And then when I click off of it, it should give it a nice round part, and it does. So we don't have to do anything. Alright, now for the blades. Alt-tab and look at the blades. They're basically just rectangular, a little thinner towards the front here and spans out. And they are only about 23 inches long. So I'm going to make a box and make it about 23 inches in width right there. Give it a little height, something like that. And bring them up into this view. Put it in here. And actually, I'm going to leave the pivot alone for now. I'm going to give it that gray material. Alright, we'll look how wide these are. 14-inch degree. Alright, I'm going to convert this to an editable poly. I'm going to take these and I'm going to scale them out a little bit. Like so, not too much, but just enough. Looks pretty good. Alright, we'll zoom in on that. Now what I want to do, hit F3, select these. I'm going to do a ring select. Didn't even have to do that, but I'm going to go to 2, and I'm going to slide them towards the, pinch them towards the ends here, on 98, and then I'll select these and do a ring there, and I'll connect that, like that. If I say this is the ceiling fan blade 01, add a turbo smooth to that, should be fine. F3, and if I look at it like so, it looks pretty good. Alright. Now what I want to do is rotate it somewhat. So I'm going to get out my rotate tool, and I'm going to rotate it up about 14 degrees. Right here I can go 15, it doesn't matter. So you can see what I did here. F3, just rotated it like so. And then what I need to do is position it in such a way that it's not going down here into this crack area. Bring it up like so. And I can even scale it just a little bit. I need to put it into that whole area right there. And if it worked, it didn't go all the way in. There we go, make sure it penetrates, and now it's in there like that. Let's save. We have that. Alright, so what we need to do is take this pivot, effect pivot only. I can align it to this right here, X, Y, and Z, click OK. And now the pivot is right here in the center. So what we want is 4 of them, so I'll just get out my rotate tool. So you make sure it didn't move it anywhere, and it did, so everything's fine. So now I want to rotate. Oops, cancel that. Did I do the pivot? Oops. What's wrong with me? Okay, let's undo that. I must have messed up somehow. Okay, effect pivot only. I want to align it to this, click OK. Now click off the effect pivot only, so we have that. And then I want to get out my rotate tool and shift rotate out 90 degrees, 3 copies, or 2 more copies, wait, 3, yeah, 3 copies, and there we go. So now we have our ceiling fan. Looks pretty nice. And what I'm going to do is get out a tape measure here. And I'm just going to go to the bottom here to there. Delete that. I'm just going to measure up, and you see right there, from what we looked a minute ago, it said 7-foot minimum right here for the blades, and we're just about at that. So we actually put this, without even measuring it, pretty much at the exact point it needed to be. Alright, so that's the ceiling fan right there. Let me select the whole thing. I'm going to group it. I'll call it ceiling fan 01. So now we have that. So I'm going to take that, and I'm actually going to shift copy another one out. Do that. Alright, I'm going to get out my layer manager here. And with that selected, I'm going to go to my bedroom set and just add that to that one. And for some reason it didn't do right, so I'm going to undo that. And I'll worry about that in a minute, so let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's go back to the living room set. Make sure this whole thing, this group is selected. Alright, and it should be in the living room already. And the other one goes away. So we're going to leave that alone for now. And when I'm going to take this and go to the top view, alright, I'm going to unhide the CAD file and take this one over here to this ceiling fan right here. We can even rotate it if you want to into place. So it comes right here. And this one actually goes right here. So that's the ceiling fans in. And we can leave those on the same one, it really doesn't matter. I'd like to put it on the living or the bedroom layer, but we can worry about that when we actually get into that part. So let's hide the CAD file. Let's do File, Save As. And what I'm going to do right now is just rename all this stuff and call it 1.extras. Hit Save. And in the next tutorial, what we're going to do is start working on the individual lights that need to go in here.